Hey guys, it's me, alive. Now, it's been a long time since you've seen me because I made a video back in like November and October and I didn't post it, but I talked about a book I have read exactly once, like in middle school, and it was stuck in my brain forever, and I didn't upload that video because the look I did and it wasn't very good. But I want to do videos like that where I talk about something like a book or a movie while I do my face. And I was inspired recently to make this video by Kenny JD, who does the Bad Movies with a Beat series on her YouTube channel. Definitely check her out if you have just stumbled upon this video and you're not one of the 7 people who is legally obligated to watch it. But I got some cool new stuff from in the makeup land in my little makeup case, and I want to show you guys some of the stuff I got, like, because I'm not good at reviews, but I got some cool new stuff I want to show off. So, hooray, I guess. So I'm going to put on foundation. As you can see, lighting, as usual, terrible. It's just not going to happen for me, you guys. There's never going to be good lighting in these videos. What do I look like? Oh my god. I just spray that all over it, not like the part of my hand I usually put my foundation on. I'm also using a hand mirror. I'm not in the room, but any of the rooms that you normally do this in, but this is the room that I have the most, like, area to do stuff in, so, you know. Putting on our foundation. You should put on your foundation too if you're following along, or don't. I really don't care. But I thought I'd talk about I watched a couple of her videos. She did a video on Ma and on Strange Obsession, both of which I've seen, both of which are very bad. I would talk about Ma because I think about Ma a lot. Maybe I will talk about Ma today. But I don't want to repeat what she said, you know what I mean? I just watched it, so her, like, stuff's probably so fresh in my mind, and I don't want to be a plagiarist. But if you don't know, Ma is a movie where Octavia Spencer is the villain. She's the spooky bad guy, and I went and saw it in theaters. I paid money to see it in theaters, and I wish I hadn't. But I'm not talking about Ma today. I'm talking about another movie that was bad, but I paid movie in a theater to see it, and that is Escape Room. Not a good movie. Real bad. Stupid even. But I saw it. I paid money to see it. I didn't even see the beginning of it. But the movie starts off, like, in medias res with one of the people, I don't know any of their names anymore, but, like, the shaggy white guy, he goes in there. He's in the escape room trying to get out. And then it cuts to, like, all of our main cast getting these little boxes, like these little puzzle boxes from somebody saying, if you can solve the puzzle, follow the steps. And so there's a sequence of them all solving the puzzle. And that's when I walked into the theater, because I went and ate with my friends before. We bought tickets and then we went and ate. So we all walked in during that part where they're solving the puzzle box. So we didn't see the very beginning of this movie, which is honestly really good. Like, if you see, because if you see the very beginning of the movie, it kind of spoils who lives and who doesn't. So I'm really glad I walked in late to that movie. So if you're going to watch this movie, fast forward to, like, the 10-minute mark. Dude, I don't know how we missed so much of it either, because, like, I know they must not have put any ads rolling in front of it when we went to see it. Or not that many if they did. Okay. And so we meet our main cast. There's, like, the black guy, the tough girl, the nerdy girl. She's also black. And there's somebody else. Like, there's a nerdy boy and a nerdy girl and, like, a fat guy. Like, very stereotypical horror movie cast we've got going here. So they all show up to the place, and it's like a fancy escape room. And if you escape the room, you win something, like money or some shit. Or something like that. So they're all like, okay, we've all made it to this escape room, now what? And they go into the waiting room, and they sit there waiting, and they're like, so when did the people show up? When did the escape room start? And, like, there's just this audio playback of, like, whenever they walk up to the front desk of this little waiting room there, and it's just, like, the same audio of, like, please be seated and wait for somebody to show up, and wait for their instruction, or something like that. And so they're all sitting there, and it fucking dawns on them that, oh, duh, this is the escape room. This is the escape room. And so they start trying to solve their way out of there. I'm looking for my concealer. I cannot find it. They're trying to like get out of the first escape room, and they find a book, and it's Fahrenheit 421. And they're like, oh, there's a code on the door, and there's like a combination lock on the door, but it actually looks like an oven dial. It looks like an oven dial. And that's how they open the door. The door's locked. They can't get out. So they realize there's a copy of Fahrenheit 451 in there. So they turn the knob 451. And guess fucking what? Because it's an oven knob, the whole room is an oven, and the oven turns on to 451 degrees. And they're like, oh no, what do we do now? It's like, you idiots. See, this is one of those movies where like everybody in it is stupid. Like even the smart people are stupid. And I guess we're just not supposed to think about it, but they're stupid. Like, how do you not put that together? And why are y'all just putting random stuff in? Like, you didn't all show up here mad suspiciously to an abandoned, like, building somewhere in the middle of nowhere where nobody knows where you are. Checking out my concealer. They deserve to die. These people in these movies are, like, people who deserve it, what they get, because they're too dumb. They're just too dumb to live. So the room starts heating up, and like they have to like get off the floor because it's hot, and they're trying to figure out a way out of the room because the door is still locked. And there's they go back to the thing, and there's like one other sign in the whole room, and it's like follow all posted restrictions. And there's like another sign, and it's like, please use coasters. And they like dawns on them like, oh, and there's a table with like 8 coasters on it. So they start filling cups with water from the water coolers in the waiting room and putting them on each coaster. But then they run out of water because Strong Girl was like having an anxiety attack. And so she drinks some water. And now there's not enough water. But lucky for us, Shaggy Dude, it just has like freaking liquor on him. So they put that in the last glass, and that opens like a shaft going into the other room. The room is still heating up, and now everybody's got to get out, and they're like still holding their hands on some of the cup holders as they flip stuff up so people can leave. And then the room explodes. I don't know why it explodes, but it explodes, and everybody gets out, and they move to the next room, and the next room is like a cabin in a frozen tundra on a frozen lake. And first they have to figure out how to get out of the frozen, like the cabin. And there's a combination lock on the cabin. And one of the guys is like, are we sure we should just be putting random stuff into things now? But since the last time it fucking started a fire, and everybody's like, shut up, it doesn't matter. And he listens. And so they put a random code. They're like, it's a 7-letter code, and there's a bunch of antlers on the wall, and each antler is the name of. Each antler has a letter on it, and they all have a letter on it. And Shaggy Dude realizes that the code is Rudolph, and when they ask him why, it's because, and that's like puts an inkling, because the whole thing with the escape room is that like every room is designed for one of the people who got the little box, which doesn't make sense because like, what if somebody had failed to solve the puzzle box, but the other 6 still went? Would you just take down that room, or do they still have to figure their way out of it? Because none of them would have figured out that it's Rudolph by the looks of it, because it was like really obscure. And he knows it's Rudolph because he got into a car wreck with his friends while singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Which is stupid. This is where a real reviewer would put in a movie clip, but no. And so that's dumb. Conceal how you conceal. Conceal, don't feel. Don't let them know. Set powder. So the next, as they get outside of the cabin, they go into like the frozen wasteland, and like they're really confused because like this room looks massive, but at the very edge of the room, like there's just an invisible wall, and whatever tech they have in there has got the wall like set up to look like it goes on forever into like the woods and whatnot, but it's really just like a regular wall. So as they're trying to figure out, and when they turn around to go back in the cabin, the door locks behind them. And they figure that the cabin is the way to the next part of the room. And they're all like trying to figure, like looking for clues and stuff around the frozen lake when, oh my god, that's way too much powder. One of the guys, the nerdy boy, snuck a phone in. Like they weren't supposed to have phones, but he snuck his phone in and he was playing on it. And one of them was like, "Give me your phone. We're gonna call the cops. This is crazy. They almost killed us in the last room." And he's like, "What, dude? It's just like they're just gimmick. They're not actually gonna die in this escape room." And you know, stuff happens. They find a coat and they find a big block of ice with a key frozen into the middle of it. And so they realize Shaggy Dude has a lighter, and Shaggy Dude is mad that he almost died. So he's like sitting off by himself, not helping. And oh my god. The guy, they're like, "Come on, man, you gotta help us or none of us are gonna get out of here." He's like, "Alright, fine." And he pulls out his lighter and he throws it across the lake to them. Like, he won't hand it to them because he's still being a jerk. So he just like kind of slides it across the lake. And then when the nerdy boy walks over to pick the lighter up, the ice where he's standing on breaks and he falls into like ice cold water and gets sucked under. And they're like, "Oh no, nerd boy, no." And they're like trying to get him out, and he drowns and dies. Like he's dead. He's dead. And they're all like, "Oh my god, oh no. Not nerd boy, he's dead." And everybody's kind of like really freaking out now because he's like dead. Like he's dead. And they're all like, "It's you, Shaggy Dude. Shaggy Dude, you're the one who got him killed. You must secretly work here and are trying to trick us into dying." He's like, "That makes literally no sense." And they're all like bickering, and then like the black guy's like, "Come on, you guys, we're gonna die out here on this frozen tundra. So everybody come put your hand on this block of ice, and we're gonna use our body heat to melt to the key." And that's really dumb. That's like a really stupid plan. Because think about it, if you're trying to get to the key, wouldn't you want to, like, I don't know, like you like, I get everybody's body heat will melt the ice faster, but it seems like it would make more sense if like everybody put their hand on one side of the ice cube, but they all are like holding it like together, like to try and evenly melt to the center of the key. But it seems like you should just all put your hand on top and then like kind of keep them centrally located, and you'll like melt a hole to where the key is, and then you don't have to like melt the whole block of ice. But they're idiots, so they take turns wearing the coat and holding the ice inside the coat, like against their body, and then having a hand on it. And so they're all like taking turns holding it, and eventually they get to the key and they get out of that room, and they're like, the black guy's like kind of shaken up, and he's like, and they're like, "What's the matter with you, man?" And he's like, "The jacket in that last room was the same coat that I was on when I was like on a shipwrecked boat in the middle of the North Atlantic with my buddy, and we were both wearing the coat, and then he like, took the coat off, and in hypothermia he went insane, and then took the coat off and wandered into the ocean and died." I don't know. And so everybody's like, "Oh, that's so sad. I'm so sorry about your friend." This is shade pinker in the Jackie Aina ABH palette, by the way, which is a really lovely palette, and Jackie did her thing with this one. Like, this like makes up for those 3 Norvina palettes they just launched that were not that good. Like, ABH is usually really consistent. Like, I know a lot of the people complain that a lot of their palettes are the same, but this looks nothing like your traditional, like, the color story on this palette is really nice. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the movie Escape Room. But like they're like trying to live, I guess, and they move on to the next room to like continue their lives. And the next room is like this weird upside down, like it's upside down, and so like it's a cool like sports bar kind of look. And there's a song from like the this really annoying song from the 50s is playing in the background, and it's playing like really loud. And there's a phone, and they pick up the phone. The phone is the lifeline. The last room didn't have a phone, but the first room did. That's how they figured out that they needed to follow the posted signs. They pick up the phone, and the phone is like, please follow all posted signage. And that's how they realized they're like, they need to put the drinks on the coasters. But every time the phone makes like a dial tone, a piece of the floor falls. And it turns out that the room is an elevator, and the elevator shoots up like a bunch of feet, and then like the pieces of the floor fall off, and they're all like looking around like, oh no, we're gonna die. And so they're leaning against, like they've gotten to places where their feet aren't on the floor, and they're trying to figure out how to get out of the room because they see like a door on a way, but they don't know how to get to the door, and like the door has no knob. And they're looking for clues, and there's like a pool table upside down. The pool table has all the balls except for the 8-ball. So Strong Girl, who was in the military, and her thing was that the reason the first room was hers, and the reason she had a panic attack was because she fought in the army, and she like an IED goes off by her, and like it was really hot, and she gets really badly burned, and she's got like this big gnarly scar on her back shoulder, and oop. She had this big gnarly scar on her back shoulder, and so that was her room. And she's now jumping around, like climbing up the wall and jumping to the pool table to like get to see what she can find. And she finds a safe under like the bar, and she's like, it's a 4-digit code for the safe, and one of them is like 1, 2, 3, 4. And she tries it, it doesn't work. So looking around for clues to find like the number code. And Smart Girl figures out that on the wall, there's a wall of records, and it's a sliding puzzle. So she starts doing the slide puzzle, and she moves it around, and she arranges it, and it's like, and it has the number that they need, or whatever, the code combination. She puts it in, so other girl puts it in the safe, and they all start making their way towards the door, because inside the safe is the 8-ball, which is also the doorknob to the door. So she starts swinging over there, and more parts of the floor fall, and there's no, like, she's at the end of the pool table, and there's no, like, she was banking on being able to get back down on the floor and then running back up, but then most of the floor falls away. And so she gets to the end of the pool table, and there's, like, no way she can make the jump from the pool table to where the thing is, so she throws them the door handle. Or she's gonna, and then she drops it, and it falls on the one piece of the floor that's still there, and she's like, oh shit. She jumps down there, and she lobs it to Black Guy, and then she falls with the floor and dies, and like there's a bunch of jagged stuff at the bottom of the like elevator shaft, so she's like dead, she's impaled, she's dead, and they move into the next room, which is like a hospital room, and Smart Girl is having a panic attack because her friend, she made friends with Buff Girl, and she was supposed to make friends with Buff Girl, but like, there's no real chemistry between them, so it doesn't make sense why she's so genuinely upset that Buff Girl is dead. And Buff Girl is dead, and Black Guy is like, come on, we need to keep moving or we're all gonna die. And she's like, my friend is dead. Oh my god, my friend. She's my friend and she was dead and we're dead. We're all gonna die. I don't want to do this anymore. We need to figure a way to get back at them. And so while they're trying to figure out the clue for this room, they're like, this must have been Ben's room because this must have been Smart Kid's room because Smart Kid like nearly died in a hospital, like with some kind of infection. And so they're trying to figure out the way out, and the TV clip starts playing, and it's like, and it basically tells, and it's like, death-defying sentiment, like shows roller coaster. It's like keep your heart rate high and whatnot. And they realize there's a timer attached to some kind of gas chamber, and they realize that if they don't get out of that room in time, they're all going to be gassed to death. And so Black Guy is like, we must need to like get our heart rate up because he sees there's what do you call it? Like the thing where you put them together and then you put them on your chest and it like restarts people's heart, jumpstarts people's heart. And he's like, a big guy, the fat one, he points to the fat guy. He's like, okay, to, we need to put the thing on your heart, and then because you're the big one, you can withstand the most. And he's like, I got a heart condition, you guys, it might kill me. And he's like, no, you're the big guy, so you're like the most likely to survive it. And if you die, we'll just bring it back. And so they keep jump starting his heart. They hook him up to the machine with like that tells you what your heart rate is at. And they just keep jump starting his heart. And he's like having a heart, like he's dying. He has a heart attack and dies. And it doesn't get them out of the room. And like everybody's freaking out. And meanwhile, Smart Girl is having like freaking out. She's like, I don't want to play anymore. So she's smashing all the security cameras that the escape room people, I guess, have set up. And just like generally wrecking stuff while everybody else is trying to figure the way out of the room, because she's like, we don't need to figure a way out of the room, we need to like stop these people. And because she's just really devastated that the other girl is dead. I'm just so unflattered. Maybe I am ugly. Maybe I should stop using my Mac camera. I've dropped this Mac a couple of times. This PC. Let me fill my eyebrows. Okay. I'm gonna come back to this eyes in a second. We're not done. I'm just gonna try out this new thing. I got a new eyebrow pencil. But so she is like having a full-on like freak out, and she's breaking all the cameras, and they don't get out in time, so the gas starts coming into the room, and everybody's freaking out now, like, we're gonna die, it's over. And black guy is like, we're not supposed to get our heart rates up, we need to keep our heart rates down. Like, he didn't just put the freaking thing on the old dude's chest like 20 times and basically killed him. Like, the other dude is dead. He died of a heart attack because black guy kept pumping his heart, like kept doing the whatever that is on his heart, and then he dies. He didn't even feel bad. Like, it's brutal as hell. And so he hooks himself up to the machine, and then he takes a bunch of deep breaths and like lowers his heart rate. And that was the solution, was to keep your heart rate low, not to keep your heart rate high. And he like gets them in that, like, opens the door. The gas is not stop pouring in, but it does get the door open, and him and Shaggy Boy leave the room, but Crazy Girl is like suffocating on the gas. She's dead essentially. And we see it cuts away from her body, and her hand is like an inch away from like an oxygen mask that's hanging in the room. And then we cut back to them, Shaggy Boy and Black Guy, and they're in the next room, and Shaggy Boy puts together that Black Guy wasn't telling the truth when he told his story, and that he must have actually killed his friend for the coat. Which, I don't know how he puts that together from, like... But I guess he just figures if he was willing to kill that guy, he must have been willing to kill his friend. And it turns out he's right, and that Black Guy totally did do that, and he killed his friend to get the coat while they were out in the frozen Atlantic. And so, the next room is just, like, there's a hole, and they, like, get poisoned with some kind of psychedelic when they stick their hand in the hole. And now they're fighting over the antidote, and there's an antidote, and they're fighting over the antidote, which is also in a hypodermic needle, and they're fighting over it. And it looks like Black Guy is gonna win. He's gonna, like, suffocate Shaggy Dude. But we know Shaggy Dude is gonna win, because in the next room we know that, because we haven't seen the room that Shaggy Dude was in at the beginning of the movie, but I didn't know that watching it, because I didn't see the beginning of the movie as established when I would see it in theaters anyway. And so, like, there's no real tangent to it if you know what's going on. And so he gets away, and he beats up Black Dude and, like, strangles him, and then he takes the antidote and gets into the next room, which is, like, a book room. It's like a library, and it's getting close. Everything's getting closer together. And we don't see that whole sequence, because we saw the beginning of that sequence at the beginning of the movie. So if you didn't see the beginning of the movie, that scene's a little confusing, and then just cuts to him getting out of that room. And they're into, like, the last room, which is just, like, a big open warehouse space. and he walks in, and there's a guy just sitting on a couch, and he's like, "Well done, you completed my escape room. I didn't think it would be you. I was banking on Buff Girl, or a couple others I was banking on, but you, I was not expecting." And they're like, "Why'd you do this, man?" He's like, "Because you are all anomalies. You all, like, they all survived accidents that everybody else died in. Like, the other girl died in a plane crash. Smart girl who died in her parents died in a plane crash. Like, she was in a plane crash and her parents died. She should have died, but she didn't. So everybody's like the sole survivor of some crazy incident. So that's why each room was designed for them. And so he didn't expect the Shaggy Dude to survive. And he pours Shaggy Dude a drink, and then he walks around behind him and starts trying to strangle him for some reason. Like, what is even this dude's MO? Like, just to kill people, I guess? And then we cut back to the gas room, and it turns out Girl actually made it to the oxygen mask. Because when the people who go in to, like, clean up the bodies go in there, she attacks them and knocks them out, and then she moves on to catch up with Ben, and then she starts fighting the dude who's strangling him. I think Shaggy Dude is named Ben. I might just be calling him Ben. His name might not be Ben. But he starts, like, fighting with him, and they're fighting, and it's stupid. And then we cut to Girl, and now she's fighting too, and it's really dumb, and Sis, like, starts just wailing on the bad guy with, like, a stick, and she gets him off of Ben, and they escape, and they run away, and then she goes and calls, like, the police, and the police get there, and the whole building where the escape room was is, like, just torn up and, like, abandoned, and everybody thinks she's crazy and that they made it up, and they're like, there's all kinds of, like, trippy shit in your blood, y'all are probably just hallucinating, y'all got high together, but we're gonna let it go this time, which is whatever, like, and she's, like, really devastated that nobody believes her, but dude is just, like, glad to not be dead, and honestly same. Like, if that were me, that'd be me too. Be like, look, man, I'm just glad to be alive. And she's like, we can prove that this happened, and we can go. And so, like, it cuts to way later, and, like, they're both at this restaurant somewhere. And she's like, oh my god, have you been? She's like, I found their, like, headquarters. We can prove that they were real and that really happened to us. And he's like, look, man, I'm just trying to, like, I'm so glad we're alive. I'm so surprised we lived, so maybe keep that to yourself. She's like, no, I booked us plane tickets and everything, we can go. And he's like, if I do it, will you, like, leave me alone for the rest of my life? And she's like, yes. Like, big bet. And I think we're supposed to establish, like, at some point that he's some kind of addict, and then that's why he's supposed to, like, look not as dirty at the end of this movie, because, like, after the near-death experience, he's just like, yeah, never again, I guess. It's kind of vague. Oh, dropped it again. Just breaking things. And so then they cut to a plane, and the plane is crashing, and then everybody the plane crashes, boom, boom, kaboom, everybody dead. My god. Oh my god, everybody's dead. And, everybody dies in this horrible plane crash. And then it cuts away from the plane, and it was just like a simulation. And a lady who's playing the flight attendant comes up, and she's like, I think we're ready to do this for real now, boss. This worked perfectly. And it's the same guy I guess he survived getting beat up by a girl and boy. So, and they set up for Escape Room 2. And God, I do not want to go see Escape Room 2. And I really hope Escape Room 2 doesn't get made, because it's a bad movie. Bad. Movie bad. Movie bad. I'm not done with my makeup, so maybe I'll talk about something else for a minute. But depending on how long it takes me to finish, I'm going to talk about something else. So, we know that I've seen a lot of bad movies. I've seen a lot of bad horror movies, like in theaters, because I'm not a big horror movie person. Exactly, like, because I was a kid at the height of the Saw phase, so that really turned me off of horror movies in general. Like, I was so terrified of that, like, sort of thing as a little kid. Like, just thinking about it made me sick. I'm supposed to buy my own lash glue? Ooh. And so I never like really liked horror movies at any point in my life. I didn't put on lashes, you guys. I've never put them on before. And I didn't see any lash glue at the store, so I assumed they came with the lashes, and that was a stupid assumption. I don't wear wigs, so I don't have any leaf balm. Oh well, I just don't do them today. But believe you me, I'm gonna be wearing lashes. I'm gonna put on lashes in my next video. But any hoozle. The man, like, I've seen a lot of bad horror movies. I have. And I don't know, I don't want to say that one's the worst one I've seen, because I saw The Lazarus Effect. And I think that might be the worst horror movie I've ever seen, was The Lazarus Effect. But this came pretty close. Like, because it wasn't even funny. Like, Ma is bad, but it's also hilarious. This wasn't even funny, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes a horror movie is so bad that it's, like, at least, like, comedic. I'll have to talk about those next time, about one of those next time I do one of these. Maybe I'll do them more regularly now that I have, like, a more cohesive thing that I do each vid. But, dude, like, that movie was ridiculously stupid, and like it was better that I missed the first 10 minutes than if you see the whole thing. And I feel like that says a lot about the movie, that it's better to miss a significant portion of it than to see the whole thing. That's not a good sign if you're a movie maker and your movie is better if you miss part of it. But anywho, the other crazy thing about the movie, horror movies in general, but this movie in particular, is like the way it uses jump scares, but like there's never a monster in the movie, so there's never a point where like it makes sense to have a jump scare. Do you know what I mean? This looks way better in person than in camera. I promise. I need to revamp this whole camera process because this looks way better in person. Maybe I'll move the camera to my bathroom when we're done so we can improve the lighting. This ain't it. Really not. Okay. But any hoozle. This wasn't the worst one I've ever seen. I've seen a lot worse ones, but like this just it wasn't fun. Like I didn't care when any of the characters died because I don't know anything about them. Like I don't even remember their names. Like how am I supposed to care that one is dead? You know what I mean? If you're gonna give me a horror movie, make me care about the characters. I'm gonna, like, and I didn't even care about the villain. Like the villain comes out of plumb nowhere. Like if they had set him up, maybe it would have been like, ooh, who is he? But he's just like a dude at the end. You know what I mean? There's never a moment where you're like, ah. And like it's just really stupid. Like it requires all the people in it to be stupid. Like nobody even tries to like they're all just like, I guess we'll just keep doing the escape rooms after people are like literally dead. Like people actually are dying, and y'all are just like, oh, I guess we gotta keep going. Like, would not be me. I would have gone back to the first room by now, see if that shit's still on fire, and like figured out how to get the door open, because that was not it. And like other dude had a phone, he wasn't getting any signal, but like Snapchat friend, get some Snapchat. If he was using an app, could have Snapchatted to be like, hey, call the cops. This is not a drill. This is not a joke. I'm gonna die in here. Call the fucking cops. So, in conclusion, that movie was really bad, and I don't know how they thought they were gonna get a sequel. I really hope they don't. Like, I'll be devastated if that movie gets a sequel. I really will. There's plenty of good movies that we did not get a sequel for that require them. Like, there are whole TV shows that only got one season that deserve more. And you're telling me we're getting Escape Room 2? Disgusting. I don't know how to fill the rest of this video out. How'd y'all New Year's go? Y'all mad I'm talking about a movie that nobody went to see from 2017? This is a Fenty Beauty like wine, berry colored lip. I feel like if you don't have a berry colored lip in your collection, what are you even doing? Everybody's got one. What's good on everybody? People with even lips, I don't know what that's like. It's forever to put on lipstick and have it like look even remotely correct. If I don't have a cupid's bow, like my cupid's bow is really pronounced at the tip of my nose, but when it gets to the top of my lip, it just doesn't happen. I'm jealous of people with really nice cupid's bows. Y'all are living the best lives out there. I'm not even going anywhere looking at it like this. Like, I'm just doing makeup because I'm got some cool stuff and I want to try it out. Honestly, I'm a disgrace. But yeah, Escape Room wasn't good. Don't see it. Don't waste your time. Lucky for me, I went to see it at like a cheaper theater than AMC, so I don't have to get paid full ticket price for it. But it's the principle, you know. Perfect. Okay, the look is done. Maybe we'll move. Maybe I'll turn my flashlight on. I'm actually going to upload this video, so sorry about all the quiet parts, but I'm never going to edit these because, once again, this is just for me to have fun with. Like, this is nothing to do. Oh. Ooh. If you want me to do your makeup, don't ask. Turn my flashlight on. Haha. What if, am I an idiot? Like, could I have done this, like, the whole time and really, like, upped my whole life? Wow. I hate myself. This is how I'm going to shoot every video from now on. I've got, like, my pop socket sitting on the lip of my computer. It's not exactly great lighting, but it's significantly better lighting than, like, so this is what I've been doing the whole time. And I'm very sorry to everybody who had to see it. In conclusion, look, done. Escape Room. It's trash. Don't go see it. Bad. Ma, definitely worth a watch. Watch it. Enjoy it. I'll talk about Ma next time. See y'all later.